Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Trippy here, and we're going to be going over what your enrichment is going to do today. Today, you're going to explore parallel and perpendicular lines. All right. So what I want you to do is go ahead and log on to your Internet Explorer or your Google Chrome or Firefox, whatever you use, and in the browser, you're going to go ahead and search for Desmos. DESMOS, and it should be the first one that pops up, and it's going to be a free calculator app. All right, go ahead and click Launch Calculator, and it's going to bring you to this screen here. It's going to show you a coordinate grid on this right side, and then over here on the left side, it's going to have where you can put things in. I know some of the classes have used this, some of the classes have not, so just real quickly, let's say I wanted to plot the point 2, 2. You would just type in parentheses, the ordered pair, 2, comma 2, close your parentheses, and you can notice it puts the point over there. If I wanted to keep the point there and I wanted to add something else, like an equation, let's say, for instance, y equals, let's go 3x plus 2, or plus 2. So it puts your line there. That's what you're going to be kind of exploring today in this first task with parallel lines. So what we're asking you to do is kind of go online and find a picture, all right, of something that has parallel lines. Be creative here, all right? The picture does not have to be math related, or if your teachers allow you to, ask them and see, maybe you'll be allowed to use your phone and go spend about 5 to 10 minutes, go around the school and take a picture of something that involves parallel lines. Then, once you have that image, you want to save it to your download, save it to your desktop. You might have to email it to yourself if you took the picture on your phone. And then what you're going to do is, if you see this little plus sign over here on the left-hand side, you can click there and you can add an image to your graph. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to select an image from my desktop that I found earlier, and it's just a picture of a bird sitting on some branches. And now notice how the image kind of has these blue dots that are up. You can grab the image, or should I say, you can grab these points and make the image bigger. You can make the image smaller, all right, however you want to do that. If you just grab on the graph, you can circle the image however you want. All right, then what you want to do here is you need to kind of play around with some lines and try and get 2 lines drawn to represent the 2 things that are parallel. For instance, in mine, I was going for the parallel looking at these 2 twigs coming off that branch and thinking, okay, they look like they're parallel. What equation could I write for them? So, coming up with a game plan ahead of time, looks like this has a negative slope. Maybe I'll say y equals negative 0.5x. Now that green line's hard to see, so if you go over here to the gear and click Edit List, and then click on this green dot, you can pick the color. We'll try black. Black shows up a little bit better. And then just click out and it'll change your line. So my line's a little too low, so I might shift the y-intercept up and make it +1. There, it's a little too high, so I might have to play around with it, and I get a line that represents that first branch pretty good. Then what you want to do is try and come up with your second equation for your other branch and see, can you make them as close as possible. Once you have this done, then what you need to do is go kind of come up with the conjecture, come up with an idea about what it means for lines to be parallel. Thinking about slope and y-intercept. Does one make a difference? Does one not? On your enrichment paper, you need to copy down these 2 equations. I know I only have one here, but your 2 equations of your lines, and you need to write down your conjecture before you move on to task 2.